Good morning, world. Happy Sunday. Let me get my DFT on. Oh, we're gonna go this one. Welcome to, let me get my timer set. This morning my morning mental prep on this Sunday. Oh, I need to get this on, hold on. June 18th, 2023. I needed this morning. Oh my goodness. It was an eventful Saturday. Got snickerdoodle going on. This is actually really good. Don't you just love getting your health right with some good flavored stuff, man? Oh my gosh. I can't decide if it actually tastes like a snickerdoodle, but it tastes good anyway. How's everyone's weekend going? So, as I was saying, tell me about your weekend first. Mine's been eventful. Just got back from Beasley Farms to get our weekly produce. Go on Sundays, every Sunday now, which I got to make that part of my morning. So I got to select a time I do a power planning Zoom on Sundays for my Thrive team. And I haven't been able to nail down a time. Stop, Aries. I can't believe how good that is. Actually, I guess I can. Because nothing has disappointed me. Like, even the chocolate tastes good, but I'm not a chocolate person like that. Like, I've never drank chocolate milk. But, let's get to reading. Let's get our minds right. Let's take a minute to focus. Get some mental prep going on. My word. Believe that you can. If he did it, why can't you? If she did it, why can't you? If they did it, so could you. Believe that you can, and you will. This is an amazing thing I have not mastered it. I am working on it every day. But there are things that have happened that a belief clicked for me. One big thing is the belief that I could own more than one property. Because I want an earthship. Probably not something that I can do in Florida. So when I come to realize that, I was like, wow, do I have to give up my dream of having an earthship? Because Florida's climate is the way that I want to live. And then it hit me. No, I could do my earthship somewhere and have maybe a beach house or something like that. A smaller house, smaller land on the water somewhere. Right? So I could be here and there. That's a lot though, but I have to have land. I have to grow my shit. So, but that realization, it was like an aha moment for me. It was like, oh, well, I could own more than one property in my life. I never even really thought about owning my own house until the last maybe 10 years tops. Never wanted to. So I never put any thought into it, let alone thinking that I could. I didn't want to. Maybe I didn't want to because I didn't think that I could. Because it's very different now. But it's interesting. I just had one this morning too. My husband and I were driving back from Beasley's. It's about a 30-minute drive, and it's nice in the woods, kind of, so it's morning time drive, and we're talking about the horses. There are horses out there, and I want horses. And he's talking about these auctions that he's watching in Montana and what have you. So we're just talking about things like that and owning a horse, where to get them, expense, different things, land, boarding, just horse talk. He's talking about the cost of a horse itself at these auctions. And I never really thought about what the cost of it was. Right now I'm volunteering, so that works for me. That's going to get me the education and experience and helping, a rescue center out along the way. But I never really thought about how much a horse costs. It didn't matter to me. I just knew that it's going to happen. When I have land, it's going to happen. But I can also board a horse so I could have it before then, right? But in this conversation on the way home from Beasley Farms this morning, it was a joyous, like, gosh, the belief that I can actually be a horse owner it is joyous in and of itself, not even having the horse yet. So belief is a powerful thing, and when you don't know your beliefs or you don't know like your limiting beliefs, this is something that I'm still working on. I'm about to start a program. I can't think of the names of it right now, but to kind of dive into that a little bit more. I know I have a lot of limiting beliefs around finances that have been almost worked out in the last year or two. Still a work in progress, but it's definitely come a long way from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, certainly from my childhood. So good morning, Miss Sarah. Thanks for hanging out with me. All right, so definitely check your beliefs. A belief is just a thought that you keep having over and over and over again. So if it's a bad thought, then you may not think that you believe, but if you keep having that bad thought over and over and over again, that negative thought over and over and over again, well, that's a belief. So, all right, on to the law of attraction. All right, today the law of attraction tells us to clear your mind. Oh boy. Yes, yes, yes. As previously stated, the law of attraction is unbiased. Whatever you think about is what is manifested. What you believe. Making some adjustments here, sorry. Careless thinking about negative events and people who just want to exploit others can just as easily draw similar negative experiences and individuals into your life. Most likely you'll protest and declare that you would never want those things to happen. You would never have deliberately drawn them to you. But when you begin to correlate your thinking with the events that have happened or are occurring in your life, you will begin to see how your thoughts influence your life experiences. Oh, this is so true. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Clear your mind. The law of attraction is unbiased. I've said this before. You could be thinking, I want to get out of debt, out of debt, out of debt. And the law doesn't hear that. It just hears debt. So it just gives you more debt. So you want to shift that to, okay, you're working on your debt already. You're making payments to your debt already. Great. There's something in place for that. So now you need to move your focus over to how do you create more abundance in the financial aspect of your life. Just keep asking yourself that. When you feel I want to get out of debt, ask yourself, how do I create more abundance? How do I create more income flow? And this is just the example that I'm using. It can be anything. So you have to be aware of your thought process. Your thoughts are your beliefs. Not just your thought process, but your thoughts. And once you're aware of them and you start shifting them, then you can... Ideas are going to start flowing. When you're in that negative thought process, then you have those negative feelings that go along with it, that anxiety and nervousness and all of that. And I remember listening to, gosh, I need to take a note because I need to look this up again. Hold on one second. It's a podcast. I have to write anxiety. And then opening the door. In this podcast, they were talking, I can't even remember what it was that they were talking about now. It's completely eluding me. But he talked about how your brain is a doorway to all the information that you need, but you have to be open to receiving it. So if you're in a state of fear or anxiety or nervousness or anything that is a negative, lower vibration, you're closing that doorway off to that information. So in order to, so then you're never going to get the answers that you need, the solutions that you need, the ideas that are going to bring the solutions that you need. So you have to learn how to not be anxious. I know that's so weird. That's not really what I was trying to say. That is ultimately what it is. Not be in a state of anxiety and fear all the time. You can't, there's no way to find solutions to that. So breathe, meditate, whatever works for you. I say that all the time. My timer went off. So whatever works for you, but you got to start doing something so that you can open up the doorway to the information that you need to find your solutions, you know? And you just keep going. You just keep going, and you'd be amazed at how things get better and how simple things get, and how joyous that is. You gotta clear your mind. It takes work. I'm not perfect at it by any stretch of the word. I work at it every day. There are really only moments throughout the day that I have a clear, focused mind, but there are moments now versus one moment for the day, or, you know, what have you. So I'm going to go finish my morning mental prep, my affirmations, my gratitude list, and my writing dump. I encourage y'all to do the same thing. Get some sort of miracle morning routine in place for yourself. A good place to start is with gratitude. You can take 5 minutes and find 5 things that you're grateful for that happened in the last 24 hours. What are you grateful for? Let me know in the comments. I am grateful. I am so, so grateful. And I'm really digging deep here to find that gratitude that I had the money to fix my dog's injury yesterday. I'm so grateful. Not just that I had the money, but that it was money that was not, it was saved. You know, beginning with the savings, if you will. But I'm grateful, because it was laid open. It was not cool. It was not cool. So I'm so grateful for that. That it wasn't a stressful decision. It was, oh, my bills, or, you know, this. My bills are paid. My groceries are got, you know, things like that. So I'm grateful for that. That's something that I'm working toward. I don't want to be in a life of either or in situations like that. Do I buy my food, pay my bills, or do I pay the doctor, you know? So grateful. All right, guys, go sit in your gratitude. I will see you tomorrow morning, 7:10, same bat channel. And as always, peace and love.